What is up, boys and ghouls? Mootini is back with another video for ya. This week I am so excited to be starting a brand new series, the first of many to come, Mootini Reviews. Grab yourselves a snacky snack, a little bevy bev, and let's get this party started. Hello?
Hello? Who is this?
Mootini, who's this?
What's your favorite scary movie?
Well, Mr. Ghostface, if you watched my last video, then you would know.
This is the last person you're ever gonna see alive.
Uh-oh.
Scream madness!
That's right, folks. Today, Mootini's first review is Scream 7, released just this year. I thought Scream 7 would be a really fun first review to do for this series, especially since it came out not that long ago. And I'm also a really big Scream fan. Alrighty, my horror fans, before we hop into it, I just want it said, I am reviewing this simply as a fan of the Scream movies. All drama with behind the scenes of the coming of this film is set aside. Those that know what happened, and it was extremely unfortunate, I will say that. But I'm not gonna be addressing any of that in this video. That's not what this is for. It is simply a horror fan reviewing a horror movie. Alrighty, now let's get into the fun stuff. Alrighty, y'all, first things first, I'm gonna be talking about this movie spoiler free. I will give you the heads up and what point to skip in the video if you do not want to be spoiled. The basis of the plot is, it's about Sidney Prescott years and years and years after the very first one. She has a daughter, her name is Tatum, a loving husband who happens to be a cop, and two little girls that we see in the beginning and then never see again. But basically, Ghostface comes back, stalks her daughter, kills a few teens, and Sidney's gotta save the day. Now, I understand completely the hesitancy when they announced Scream 7 was coming out. After all, it is the 7th film. And not to say that that's necessarily a bad thing that there's a 7th film now. I mean, look at how many Freddy and Jason films we have. Also, Michael Myers, he's got a lot. Especially when you're continuing the story of one character that we've been following the entire franchise. There has to be an end at some point. I will give them credit, they kind of strayed away from the whole Sidney Prescott plot when it came to parts 5 and 6. Part 5, Sidney was in it, and she was basically the, I've been through this before, so I'm gonna help you character. In part 6, when our new characters that we were introduced to in part 5 went to New York, we didn't even see Sidney. And with part 7, there was a whole bit where they kept bringing up, oh, Sidney wasn't in New York, where was Sidney? They really remind her in this film that she was not there in New York. And that did get really repetitive really fast. It did kind of take away a little bit of the film for me. But I can say honestly, as a diehard Scream fan, this film is okay. Definitely not the best by far compared to parts 1 and 2. But in my opinion, it's not the worst. Did it absolutely need to be made? No. But I also went into the theater with no expectation at all. I was just looking to have a good time and see Ghostface hack up a couple people. I also found myself enjoying it a lot more going into the movie with no expectation. I wasn't expecting it to be a perfect movie, and in all honesty, it's not, but I still had a lot of fun seeing it. The cast was phenomenal, returning and new. Now, even though this was a brand new director that did not work on parts 5 and 6, they did a really great job at bringing in some of the characters that we were introduced while not making them entirely the focus. The main focus of the film is Sidney and her daughter Tatum. The kills in this one, you guys, oh my goodness, they are gnarly. And they did a really great job with perfectly blending the amount of practical and CGI. Borderline, all of them were fantastic and had plenty of great shock value. While still remaining in spoiler-free territory, the one biggest disappointment I had with this film was who Ghostface ended up being. I'm just gonna be so honest, it did not make sense, part of it. And the only reason why I say part of it is because I don't want to spoil it. Alrighty, y'all, this is your one and only warning. If you do not want to be spoiled for this film, please skip to this part of the video. Go on and skip. I'll wait. Alrighty, y'all, so literally hopping right into it, the first thing I'm gonna say is, Stu is dead. Stu Macher is dead. The only way that they brought Matthew back into the film to reprise his role as Stu, they brought in the whole concept of AI in this movie, which honestly I thought was very interesting given the world that we live in now. And there are so many videos and images that are made online using AI that a lot of people think are real. But yeah, basically Stu calls Sydney and FaceTimes her and she's all, oh my gosh, is Stu Macher really back? Stu Macher is just a big red herring in this movie, which honestly was really cool in my eyes just to see Matthew reprise his role. And he looked like he loved every second of it. Something I truly loved that this film did, they brought back the concept that literally nobody is safe in this movie. From what we saw in parts 5 and 6, those, I think around like 5-ish characters we were following the whole time, some of them should not be here. Some of them should be dead, but they're not. Keep in mind, this is my personal opinion. You can love those films if you do. That's totally fine. I didn't really care for them. I truly felt like with none of the real main characters dying in parts 5 and 6, there were no true stakes. And it really just watered everything down for me. I wanted more. Part 7, on the other hand, there were plenty of kills. In fact, nearly all the characters were introduced, get killed off, and in very gruesome ways too. A moment that had a lot of shock value for me was when they killed off McKenna Grace's character. And she, by far, has the gruesomest kill. For quite some time, the Scream franchise really became known for killing a celebrity in the first 10 minutes of the film. And like we saw in part 1 with Drew Barrymore, they advertised the crap out of her. She is on all the posters. Everybody thought she was going to be the main protagonist of the movie. And she dies in the very beginning. I feel like they really brought that back with killing McKenna Grace, because she's a very well-known actress nowadays, and she was in all the marketing for it, and she dies within the first 30 minutes. Not the beginning, not quite the beginning, but still, we got a big celebrity death, which I loved. And I loved how they really visited Sydney's trauma that she has carried with her for all these years and how it's been affecting her family now. Her teenage daughter, Tatum, which she names after Rose McGowan's character, her best friend in part 1, which I loved, by the way. She keeps putting Tatum in this shell almost, not really allowing her to expand or grow or even talk to Sydney about her past. Sydney really keeps all of that hunkered down. She doesn't want her kids to know what's happened, which I feel is very believable for that character to make, especially all that Sydney's been through. But it is a very good full circle moment at the end when she finally starts talking to Tatum about her past and truly establishes with her daughter it's okay to talk about it. And of course, before the ending, we really start to see Tatum start to go down the same path Sydney went down. You know, as they say, history does repeat itself. And what really tips you off that history is starting to repeat itself is the beginning of the film when Tatum's boyfriend sneaks into her room going through the window. Just like Billy did into Sydney's room in the very first one. And at this point in the movie, I kind of was starting to get a little bit worried, I'm not gonna lie. It was almost line for line with that entire scene from the first movie. And then before we know it, Sydney bursts through the door. What are you doing here? You can't do this. But I really liked the dynamic between Sydney and her daughter Tatum throughout the film. And you feel so bad because there are so many moments that Sydney's trying to protect Tatum. Oh, Tatum, stay at home. Let me take care of this. And the whole time, Tatum keeps going, Mom, let me help. I want to help. To which I thought was pretty great for that daughter character to have, and not the whole, oh, my mom sucks. I'm gonna do what she doesn't want me to do because she told me not to do it. Tatum was not just a one-track character. There was a lot to her, which I loved. Okay, now let's get into the whole who's Ghostface bullshit. Excuse my language, but it made me very mad. It's pretty famous for these films now at this point to have more than one killer. The first killer, it's Sydney's neighbor who has a son that is very crime podcast heavy and wants to interview Sydney. And at first I thought, I think it might be her and her son because she's helping him make a story for his podcast. I thought thought that that would have been an okay plot for Ghostface to have. But no, the son gets killed off halfway in the film, and we find out it's his mom who did it. And then we find out the second person who's Ghostface, it's a guy we see in a hospital for less than 5 minutes, and then we never see again until the reveal of the killer. It's actually very funny if you think about it, because Sydney's here. Oh my gosh, and you, who are you? Oh, I'm that guy that told you I thought I saw Stu Macher in my hospital a month ago. Oh, okay. And then he gets shot in the head, and there's not even a big fight with him at the end. There's another bit I really want to talk about, how they integrate some of the characters from parts 5 and 6 into this film. The only characters they did bring in from parts 5 and 6 is Randy's niece and nephew, the twins. They do bring a lot of comedic relief into this film, which I thought was very appropriate since their uncle, Randy, has a lot of really funny moments in the first couple of movies he's in. And along with those two comes back Gail Weathers, Courtney Cox's character. Gail is trying yet again to become a pretty big news broadcaster, and the twins are helping her along the way, hoping to become pretty big themselves. I will be honest, Gail has her moments with Sydney, but I didn't really enjoy her in this film. And before the whole finale of the movie, Gail is with Sydney. Sydney gets a call from Tatum. Oh my gosh, Mom, Ghostface is after me. What do I do? Sydney goes running, and when Gail finds out she leaves, she just goes, damn it. And then we don't see her again until the very end of the movie. Honestly, I don't believe Gail would have done as a character. I believe that she would have gone after Sydney to try and help her. Overall, this movie had a lot of great moments, and it had a lot of bad, cheesy moments. But wrapping in all the good stuff and all the bad stuff, I give this film a solid 7 out of 10. But as a die-hard Scream fan, I definitely think it's worth a watch. What did you guys think of this film? Please let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious to hear. And that wraps it up this week for our video, you guys. Please like the video and subscribe if you want to hang out more. Also, I have another little question for those that like to leave comments on videos. What movie would you like to see me review next? Please let me know. I'm dying to hear. Links to all my socials I'm going to put right here and down below. Alrighty, everybody. Till next time. Mootini out. James!
What?
I'm making a video.
I'm just walking.
You can't walk.
Well, I have to.
You're not allowed.
Yeah, I got bad news for you, honey.
What?
I also gotta go pee.
No!
Here.
Oh
You got elbow.
my gosh.
There.
An elbow?
You got elbow.
I told y'all we weren't gonna see much of him.